Gravel, I've listened to you very carefully in this campaign. You were in the Senate.
You're one of the few that has.
You were in the Senate, and you take credit for stopping the draft. If you were a senator right now, what advice would you give your colleagues still in Congress about how they can stop the war, even though they don't have enough votes to stop a debate or to override a veto? What should they do?
Well, the first thing, you stop the debate by voting every single day on cloture. Every day, 20 days, and you'll overcome cloture. The president vetoes the law. It comes back to the Congress, and in the House at noon, every single day, you vote to override the president's veto. And in 40 days, the American people will have weighed in, put the pressure on those. You tell me that the votes aren't there, you go get them by the scruff of the neck. That's what you do. You make them vote.
Senator, are you suggesting that these candidates suspend their campaigns, go back to Washington, and for 40 consecutive days vote on the war?
If it stops the killing, my God, yes, do it.
Yeah.
And Tim, you're really missing something. This is fantasy land. We're talking about ending the war. My God, we're just starting a war right today. There was a vote in the Senate today. Joe Lieberman, who authored the Iraq resolution, has authored another resolution, and it is essentially a fig leaf to let George Bush go to war with Iran. And I want to congratulate Biden for voting against it, Dodd for voting against it, and I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it. You're not going to get another shot at this, because what's happened, if this war ensues, we invade, and they're looking for an excuse to do it. And Obama was not even there to vote.
Cities around the country, including several right here in New England, have been designated as sanctuary cities. These are communities that provide a safe haven for illegal immigrants, where police are told not to involve themselves in immigration matters. Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
This whole nation should be a sanctuary for the war, for the world, and bring the people in. What's going on? We're in fantasy land. We're talking about a problem. We're scapegoating the Latinos of our society because we as a society are failing in education, we're failing in healthcare, we're failing in our crumbling infrastructure, and we're failing by invading countries and spending our treasure. That's what's wrong. And so I'm ashamed as an American to be building a fence on our southern border. That's not the America that I fought for.
Thank you, Senator Gravel.
Susan Remickle of Canaan, New Hampshire, the mother of 2 young adult sons, believes that the legal drinking age of 21 is counterproductive and unrealistic, especially, she says, because we trust people of this age to make life and death decisions in our military. Would you as president remove the requirement that a state have a legal drinking age of 21 in order to receive federal highway funds, thereby returning the drinking age back to the states?
I think we should lower it. Anybody that can go fight and die for this country should be able to drink.
Would anyone here raise the gasoline tax in order to wean America off of Middle Eastern oil?
First off, let me qualify it. I would ask the Congress, they won't do it, but then I would empower the American people to do it, and that is to put a carbon tax on. If we don't do something drastic, and we can get off of gasoline in 5 years, and we can get off of carbon in 10 years, all we got to do is want to do it, and to put a tax on gasoline permits politicians and bureaucrats to play favorites. You do it right at the lump of coal, and you do it at the gas, and you do it at the oil, and then let it filter through the system properly. Not at all. The solution obviously is wind power. If we manufactured 5 million of these 2.5 meg windmills across the country, we could electrify the entire nation. The entire nation. I'm talking about a transportation system. Why don't we do that? We know this is technology off the shelf. That's why I kept saying we can get off of gasoline in 5 years. We can get off of carbon in 10 years. All we got to want is to do it, and it will take the American people because they can't get that through the Congress. Life is is love. That's what empowers courage, and courage implements the rest of our virtues. This is Mike Gravel. Whether you're interested or just curious to know more about me, go to my website, join me, enter your email, send me some questions, learn more about my campaign. Please do it now. Be a part